Saw, Timber Chain, Chakra, blah, 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 Finger of Death. Like, you can blow up this DP before she's able to get any sort of her saving stuff off. And with the supports as well, they don't really provide the save. Like, Terrorize, sure, but it takes a little bit of time. And I'm talking about like a 1 second burst on this DP that they absolutely have the potential for.
That's the reason why I said like the DP, but they went for it either way. I guess there isn't a better hero that does the same job. If you go for DSF, he has the same problem of being blown up, right? You cannot ignore him. He takes the towers down super fast, but he can get blown up even easier than a Death Prophet can. I guess you're just gonna have to itemize properly. And you mentioned the Viper for Nigma, but it is gonna be level up that picks it up. And lorenof, well, good luck, Mikey, but that's not gonna be an easy lane for you.
It's not, but at least you can like spam out the Crypt Swarm, right?
Yep.
You can keep the lane shoved away. You should be able to get at least the range creeps semi-reliably and just get your early levels. And then it's about... This game, I think... I see what you mean. I mean, the thing is, you've got an Enchantress, right? And you've got a Monkey King lane that should be fine enough for him. And my thing is that not often you see the rotation happen from the position 5, but you absolutely can onto this Viper and just kill him a few times in the lane, and then suddenly he's far behind, right? He's not the greatest at like recovery from a really bad start.
Monkey King turned into a banana, turning into your own food. Imagine the evolution there for sure, as they will be finding an ops. That is a very nice treat coming up from them. Did they spot it there with their mid ward? I kind of feel like no, that it's just that they have seen some level up games and Nigma are ready for it.
It's such a good spot that I think it's you just got to check it every single time.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. You cannot allow the enemies to have that spot, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ruining my pubs, but if I'm playing on Dire, I will put a ward there every single time.
Aren't people who play your pubs sleeping in a deep sleep right now already?
That's why I'm comfortable to say it.
Okay.
they won't know.
Okay,
my
so
MMR is safe.
Twitter tag Danog so that everybody knows, so that he gets a little bit of a handicap in the pubs. That's fair, right?
Mm-hmm. These noobs all the help they can get, you know?
Yeah. True. Mikey, he is winning this trade versus lorenof. Of course, 4 poison attacks is not something that you want on yourself, but lorenof got the tail end of the trade there.
Yeah, I mean, it was the creeps doing the majority of the work, right? Like, he just had a bunch of creeps right-clicking him down, and there really isn't too much that a Viper could do against that. That's the big way to be able to counter a Viper, right? It's heavy physical damage in onto him. So the Exorcism Spirits got buffed up a little bit. That's a nice little tool to be able to deal a little bit into him. Of course, you've got the Beastmaster Hawk as well, just providing that route. You mentioned up the lack of mobility on Nigma Galaxy, but you got to say the Viper, not exactly the most mobile hero either. So all of these routes, all these slows are actually going to be really effective against him.
Yeah, I don't know what it's up with the flying heroes in Dota, but most of them are don't move too fast. So usually say he's flying. Yeah, Jakiro, Winter Wyvern, they're just ultra slow, and Viper as well.
I haven't seen my position 5 Wyvern build where you just go axe. Then you got that mobility.
Okay, glad. So which server is that, so that I never queue there?
Bro, I got like a 70% win rate on it. Don't knock it.
Okay, the Hawk will go back there. He doesn't have any point in Sideblaze. That's why he couldn't get the hit in. MiLAN will be taking a ton of damage, but has the Fairy Fire, so isn't a viable target for Nigma Galaxy just yet. But they are applying pressure.
Yeah, they'll be a-okay. How do you feel about the Hawk playing this this TA? Like, it's something a little bit out of his wheelhouse for sure, but I don't know, obviously he's a fantastic player. I mean, the big thing for them is, I wonder how they're going to be able to make this work in terms of like farm prioritization, because I really am a believer in the mid Viper in his scaling potential, right? We see in Western Europe Div 2, there's a guy called Mobe who loves playing the mid Viper. I'd say he's probably one of the best in the world, and he goes like Boots of Travel, Aghanim Scepter, Manta style, and then he just farms like an absolute beast. You just use your Manta Illusions with the Corrosive Skin talent to be able to just deal damage over time.
Axe was buffed, right?
I believe so, yeah. So my issue is I'm not sure if there's enough space on the map to be able to do that for a Viper and a TA and a Timbersaw. These are all heroes that need that farm, and I just don't think there's enough on the map to be able to let that happen.
That's where 733 comes in. You have a billion camps now, so I guess you are you're gonna be okay-ish, I guess. And TA isn't the type of hero that shows in the lane unless it's the mid lane. So I could see him getting away with it. I don't think it's out of the question.
Sure, but the thing is, this is also a Nigma Galaxy draft that is not shy about pushing. You know, you can go a pretty early... I want to see what Yuma's item build is going to be as well, whether he wants to scale with like a Maelstrom, or if he wants to go Battle Fury, or if he just goes like a Desolator build, just to be able to like really try and end this one early, just because you've got the DP, you've got the Enchantress, you've got the Beastmaster. There's a lot of tower taking potential if Level Up try and greed this one out.
Okay, looking at the CS right now, it is Viper losing the mid lane. We don't see this too often. Should this change now that he's level 4, approaching level 5?
I don't know, man. Like, I still feel like Mikey should be in a pretty comfortable position to be able to secure a lot of these important kills as GH. His rotation towards mid is really just about securing that water rune for himself. I don't know. I feel like Viper really only gets enabled by being able to play against the melee cores, and again, DP has some level of sustain. Like, even if you go for a dive onto her with the orb attacks that aren't going to trigger creep aggro, you've got a little bit of sustain with that Spirit Siphon.
Whenever I see MiLAN there at the graveyard, I'm thinking he's stealing the rune, right? But it was too early. He is patient. I don't think he's this patient, so he'll be coming back to lane. They're doing well in a TA versus the Beastmaster matchup, and I think that is generally how the matchup should go. You don't really burn through the refractions that easily, and he didn't even get a single point in the Call of the Wild just yet.
I mean, the way to deal with those, like, you just can't be playing that into a lane that's going to be somewhat capable of dealing with your boars, right? Like, if they just give way too much experience if you've got the tools to be able to take them down, and you have to say TA is one of the better heroes at having that.
Yeah, side blades are perfect for dealing with it. Everybody's gonna say, yeah, but you can dodge micro. Yeah, in theory that can happen, but it never does happen. So you're not gonna be doing it. And as now, Mikey is gonna be getting the Deadly treatment. lorenof, poor guy. The second he needs to start applying a lot of damage there with the poison attack, a creep comes over as GH. He is gonna be crowning MiLAN, who doesn't have the Fade Bolt just yet. He's gonna have it in 5 seconds, which should be landing him the kill. He has just enough range. Bramble Maze, you can't go through it.
Nighttime as well. I mean, he had, of course, the Fairy Fire and the 1 charges to be able to bring himself to safety, but not the passive game. I mean, you'd have to say, Level Up, they're probably okay with this. Maybe not so much with that kill of the courier, but certainly with the kill and the first blood onto KuroKy.
Yeah, KuroKy does come over, offers himself up. MiLAN will be the second blood here. Absolutely no way for him to escape the ghost here from Mikey, so they will be getting a kill. And
Still
that's an exorcism with their siege creep, so it's gonna be quite nice. Mind Control, though, in trouble. He's lost a lot of armor. The Centaurs here, are they helping Mind Control or the Hawk? It's gonna be Mind Control. Death for 26, but still not giving a kill to the Hawk.
I was wondering if maybe he would like try and summon, level up one of the summons, summon a boar that would have triggered the 3 units to make the Centaur stomp and give him a little bit extra, but doesn't even need it.
Yep, he knew what he was doing. There will be a TP out coming out from GH. MiLAN, he comes over to share the stun with the Satyrs. I don't think they're gonna be liking that too much.
There are many stacks that have been built up for Mind Control. I mean, a lot of stuff's going well for Nigma Galaxy this game, but the Beastmaster's farm is not one of them. He's now 2 levels behind DACHA in the lane. DACHA really doesn't feel threatened at all. MiLAN wasn't there to be able to pick up the Wisdom Rune right at the 7-minute mark, so GH is going to be able to claim it. But yeah, I'm really wanting to see them give a lot more of this this ancient camp farm over to Mind Control.
The graveyard camp was blocked and it hasn't been unblocked till now, and I don't see extra creeps there in the triangle. MiLAN, he will be finding KuroKy, and there will be a rotation from swedenstrong. They want to kill KuroKy with the minus armor from the Mel. They're gonna be able to do just that. The Hawk, but have you gone too far? He does use the sticks there and goes for the refractions, but it's not gonna be enough with so many units attacking him. And now this bird will be going on top of MiLAN. Here comes Mikey as well. MiLAN is lost. The question is, will swedenstrong get himself out? And the answer will be Nigma Galaxy. They don't even care about him.
I guess that's the other bonus. Is OwnedMe in trouble here? 2 seconds left on the Boundless. It's like it's too deep even for for Yuma, excuse me. Too deep for the rest of Nigma Galaxy, though, to be able to make a kill happen for Swedenstrong. And Mikey is just TP forehead. Nice and easy. Although there is a DD spawning up on the top side.
They're playing better Dota. There will be a hurricane on the bottom as OwnedMe on top everywhere. Nigma Galaxy are the ones that are making plays. OwnedMe in a lot of trouble. There needs to be just one more slap. He needs to be getting himself away, but he will be dying next to the thing he hates the most. And that is the trees, not even being able to cut those down. Not even level 6 yet. Nigma Galaxy again looking really strong in this game.
They are indeed. I mean, the big thing was that it was mind control that ended up getting that kill previously. Oh, they see DACHA. They even see that neutral item on the ground. Yuma's going to be able to pick it up, and they might end up getting another kill.
Help is coming for DACHA. There will be a nice stun from swedenstrong. That is something he does really well. Yuma turning around onto DACHA, who's not going to be having refraction charges. He'll be dead. He does use the trap as finally lorenof makes his presence known with the DD. This is the time where the Beastmaster cannot escape. Will be taken down. lorenof gets himself on the board, but everybody else escapes, and Nigma Galaxy again, they force out the rotation. As you mentioned, mid lane, the Star will be taking a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You force the Viper to make those rotations. This is what I was talking about in the draft. You are not a mobile hero. You don't have the progression towards that boots of travel just yet. It means that you really are going to get punished if you do leave that lane. The other supports as well, not great at being able to do a lot of wave clear. GH behind enemy lines, but this is just more distraction. Like, he just wants them to be focusing on him instead of defending that mid-tier 1 tower.
It's so hard for swedenstrong to use the spells. If you use the stun, he's out. You have to have both of those. He needs another hex. Actually, GH
just giving vision.
Courier is giving vision. MiLAN being super annoying. He comes over, and finally GH now will be taken down. He goes for the Shadow Realm. Has the wands. Can he get the courier? He will attempt there, but it's not gonna be enough damage. The Hawk brings him down. It takes so much time though.
Takes so much time. You don't have a tier 1 tower to be able to play around with mid. You still get a power rune. It's only an invis for Mikey, so not the absolute best, but looks like he still wants to be able to make a play up on this top side onto OwnedMe. Yuma still having an absolutely free time there, and it looks like they might be able to get it. They have a point left in the silence. Still going to be able to get away.
Yeah, no boundless strike. It was used earlier and will allow the Timber Saw to get himself away. Even though they stopped the Timber Chain, it doesn't matter. You usually need a lot more damage, consistent damage to bring down a Timber.
I mean, I was casting a game where KuroKy was playing this Enchantress, and I mean, he was honestly almost solo carrying the game for Nigma Galaxy on a position 5 Enchantress. So I'm happy to see what he's able to do this time around. Of course, Viper doesn't have the greatest attack range. Until he's, built up into a Dragonlance, gets lucky with a Grove Bow. And Kuro, he's not shy at being able to do a similar sort of thing. So him dealing with the Viper, dealing with the Timber Saw, I can certainly see that being a factor if this game goes on for too long.
Nigma Galaxy really didn't put much emphasis into stacking. Despite having a Beastmaster, it seems like mind control, he has a different approach to this hero than other people. His main concern is taking the tower down. And I remember I think it was Matumba Man that played when he played with Nigma. He was taller with Kuro. I don't know if it was Liquid back then. He was always focusing on the tower and as a carry. And in one of the interviews he said, Kuro, he says that I should focus on towers and not on maximizing my farm. So that might be something that their captain is asking of them. Yeah,
potentially. I've got a point on that, but I'm just keeping in mind that there is this smoke going on that they see exactly what GH is doing, but they're not even feeling confident enough to be able to kill a Dark Willow.
Bunch of cowards.
Much higher priority kill. Who's going to be lucky with the power rune spawn? Looks like it's going to be top, so nice little bonus for lorenof, and I mean, that's a pretty great rune to be able to pick up. Maybe now is going to be the time that they look to make a play around one of these tier 1 towers just to put a little bit of extra damage into it, but it's actually Nigma Galaxy making the smoke happen. Going to try and find any sort of pick off that they can. lorenof is priority number 1 though.
Yeah, you would want to kill him first. MiLAN, nice usage there of the Tumbler Stoy. He will get silenced up, but lift up just before it does connect. Brambles will be on point. GH threatening with the Terrorize, nobody hiding in the trees, and lorenof makes his presence known, so that's gonna be enough for Nigma. They understand they won't be getting anything else.
I don't know if they're happy enough with that, right? Though it's an exorcism popped. They're not really doing too much damage into anything. I don't think there's any ancient stacks for them to be able to claim. Maybe they just try and backdoor the tier 1 tower top. I mean, they're happy enough to use the damage to be able to get it. And look at that. They used the Bedlam onto Mikey before he ended up going into that. So they had the extra damage coming through from GH. Nice synergy once again from Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, they get close, even though you wouldn't think Death Prophet being the most in-your-face hero, it does love to chase heroes. And there's only one, really no reason for him not to get into the face of the Timber Saw and just deal all of that damage with both the Spirit Siphon and, of course, the Bedlam coming out from GH. Nigma Galaxy, they're just playing without mistake here. Even though Level Up, they're not making too many mistakes, they're not making any plays either, and that is what's dictating the tempo not only of this game but of this entire final.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about with like the 3 cores, right? There are 3 cores that want to farm, so it's all about just trying to maximize that as much as possible. You can see Tahaki's having a decent enough game, and Viper is going to have a lot easier time once he gets into the Aghanim Scepter. See Boots of Travel coming through onto the Hawk, and we're seeing Twin Gates being used as well.
They want him dead.
Who are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he's very dead. He's not getting out of this one alive. Absolutely no chance in hell that he gets out with his life intact. He does have a Midas on the Hawk, so definitely gonna be farming pretty fast. But that's it. Level Up, full greed. Does this greed have more potential to win than it had in the previous game?
I think so, yes. Just because I think they're not going to be lacking in damage if they are able to, you know, stall the game out for long enough. But the thing is, with Nigma Galaxy, how they're playing, like, they are just full-on committing to preventing the scaling with what they feel is the most dangerous hero in that TA, right? Obviously the squishiest of the 3 right now, so they're just very happy to try and focus a little bit more onto the heart to try and take him down.
Now they're going to be focusing on OwnedMe as well. Terrorize not going to be used. They have the Cursed Crown, and they are there in the vicinity, but the Terrorize will be sending them back, and so now they have to run. You can see that GH is always in a good position, ready to save his buddies if need be.
So one thing I actually want to mention as well about what you were talking about before with, you know, Matumba Man said that Kuro wants his cores to be pushing instead of farming. Never mind, swedenstrong. Let's get going on. Look at the damage.
That guy? Yeah, he's gone.
The thing that I want to talk about is basically what I've been saying all throughout, in that Level Up want to be farming, so it's much more important to be emphasizing tower push as opposed to, you know, going back, being passive, taking ancient stacks. Obviously, it's a nice, quick way to be able to take it, but I think he's just like, just keep going. Don't stop. Keep getting up in their face. Prevent them from being able to get out on the map and able to farm. That's the biggest priority for them right now. So they've already taken away a tier 1 tower mid and bottom, so you're already, like, it cuts off a few of these camps around their main jungle, and you can see that there's an observer ward right next to the bounty rune as well. So anytime anyone moves into that dangerous area, they're going to be punished, and that's really what I'm liking about the way that Nigma Galaxy have structured their movements this game. They've almost gotten to a Helm of the Overlord as well, so they're just going to keep the pressure going.
Yeah, they understand it perfectly. They're keeping that bottom part of the map checked, and they're playing the top part, not allowing Level Up to push. As now, OwnedMe this time around, he's going to be all alone. Here comes the Boots of Travel. It is not your Viper coming in. It will be Mikey, and again, Bedlam onto one of his cores. It's going to be so much damage. In the end, Mikey claims the kill as MiLAN just continues spamming the Crypt Swarm. Maybe it is going to be another MiLAN Midas game, as lorenof, he's going for the exact same build that you mentioned, though as you mentioned it, I'm not sure that this build is going to work.
I think it's their only option, to be honest, right? Like, I think you're too far behind right now. It does provide you that nice little bit of extra control, some damage over time. It provides a little bit of slows, and it allows you to farm, right? I think that's really just what you have to be playing for. And I mean, this is the sort of thing that you are hoping to get whenever you're playing a TA. Honestly, even a Timbersaw lineup, right? That early-ish Roshan, but with the level 2 Exorcism, they feel like they had plenty to be able to take it out nice and easy, and they're even going to be able to claim the last tier 1 tower as well, with the last few remnants of it.
Why does everything look so easy when Nigma are doing it? I don't know, like, Level Up are completely lost in the last, now it's gonna be 5 games that they're playing versus Nigma. You could say that in that first game of this best of 5 final that they were close to winning, but even then you could see that they were struggling into making their lineup work. Now, in games number 2 and 3, they're completely helpless.
It's just about the, are they going to be able to get a quick kill? They just need anything right now.
No need.
Much more I mean, they're prioritizing lorenof's farm so much right now, and for good reason. Like, he needs to get into this Axe. He needs his level 12. He needs to be able to progress in towards that Manta style. And I mean, it honestly feels like they're playing for a level 25 Viper. And I mean, it's only 18 minutes in. You've lost the Aegis. You're 5k net worth down. You haven't taken a tier 1 tower, and you've lost all of yours, and you're just losing OwnedMe consistently. He's 0-4-0 right now. Not the sort of game that you'd be hoping for a Timbersaw.
I'm really liking that the Viper was given that option. I think as a universal hero, he would be too strong, but he makes sense to be a universal hero because he's a mixture of tankiness, agility, some magic damage as well.
Spellcasting.
Yeah, there's so many reasons lore-wise for him to be a universal hero as TA. The Hawk has to be careful here. Okay, he'll be fine.
He will. I want to see Mind Control going into an Aghanim Scepter next. I feel like it's going to be really nice just for a little bit of that extra sustain. Going to be nice against the Timbersaw. Another way to be able to remove those refraction stacks. Feels pretty decent to me, although I wouldn't put it past him to go just like a BKB to be able to just not care about, let's say, 3.5 heroes. Of course, Viper Strike is still something that you need to be mindful of.
This Tumbler's
Yuma, speaking of, yeah, I mean, he's been pretty on point with his usage.
Yeah, is it enough to save his life? This time around the finger will be used, but definitely not enough to kill the Monkey King. And even if it was, he still did have the Aegis. In the end, the Rubik does get taken down with relative ease. Nigma Galaxy, they're not bringing down the cores, but they're keeping this nice lead alive.
I mean, you're kind of deep here, Mikey.
Is
you're
he?
not the one with the Aegis.
As the BKB doesn't care. He's not taking any damage. He's just sucking the life out of lorenof. Is this the hero that you want to be strong? He's not going to be doing anything versus the Exorcism as Yuma. Not even going to get stunned up there. He does lose one of his lives, but it doesn't matter. You got that Aegis to lose it at some point, and 2 minutes before it does expire, not the worst thing.
Mm-hmm. I believe Beastmaster's going for the drums and potentially into the Boots of Bearing. Again, if you're looking to accelerate the game, this is exactly what you want. All while that was happening, Mind Control just using his Helm of the Overlord creep to be able to push in onto this top side. He's actually might be in a little bit of trouble up here.
They don't have any lockdown though, so he's out. MiLAN used this.
At least they kill the creep, but look at all the lanes, right? Bot's pushing in, mid's pushing in, people are farming, and Monkey King did end up going that not full scaling itemization. He's gone for a Desolator.
Yeah, Deso is the item that gives you the most damage out of all the items that you can buy on the Monkey King at that point that you do it, right? But no, where's the Deso? It was the Hawk with the Deso.
Oh, he had it queued up for sure.
Okay, he changed it up into a Mage Slayer. Okay, Swedenstrong, very much dead. GH, he gets the kill there with the Shadow Realm hit. It's just they're going from kill to kill, from tower to tower, from objective to objective, and level up. They're having no responses. They now have the Shard on the line and the Axe on the Viper. Deso on the Hawk. Is this the timing for them, or is it still dodge time?
I think it's still dodge time. You want to get a few more levels. They're even probably going to give the Viper, the Wisdom Rune. They are trying to get him to 25 as quickly as they can. I just don't think Nigma are going to give them the chance to be able to do it. The Hawk, I mean, he's playing a much more, I guess, aggressive, pushy, playmaking style of TA, if you could call it that, but they're not going to give him the time to.
Let's see, going high ground versus the Viper, not gonna be easy. Viper Strike being used. Mikey uses the whip on himself and just easily walks himself out. Nigma Galaxy, they're in the smoke. They're already making a line towards the mid lane. So once level up try to leave their base, they might actually get caught.
The Hawk's been doing a pretty good job, though, of pushing this top lane out, right? Like, you're going to lose towers. You're probably going to lose a tier 2 as well in the mid lane. But as long as you're not, like, having your high ground threatened, as long as you're delaying it for long enough as Kuro.
Well, Exorcism was used. The Boundless Strike only connecting onto OwnedMe. The Viper was fairly close. They will have the Terrorize as well, and OwnedMe, he seems to be surviving. He's tanky enough. With the Crimson Guard, he will be getting himself out. So Nigma Galaxy, they use their ultis there, and they don't get anything.
This is valuable time for level up to be able to just settle themselves a little bit. You know that they're not going to be running at you for the next 2 minutes or so. And it's just time that you need to be able to get into that next item, whatever it may be. You know, like, can you get now a Manta style on the Viper? Can you start the push happening? Does this give DACHA, like the potential for a Blink Dagger. Did I see him just queuing up the Shard, I believe, just to potentially give a little bit of extra vision, some extra pushing power as well, just to dump a few of those TA traps in the lanes and just keep them naturally pushed out?
You need the shard. I think that the TA cannot be played without it. You just have to buy it at some point. Though, did you notice that GH is playing in complete darkness? You can only see like the reflection. Yeah, that's a sleep paralysis demon if I've ever seen one, right? So level up. I think they're hella scared of this guy.
Reminds me of that thing in Minecraft. It's just like you only see the eyes. Monka.
Oh man, that's scary. And look at level up, like in their light, everything. You can see that they're not dangerous, and the net worth does reflect it. But they are delaying this game. The gold lead isn't increasing.
They can. That's the thing. They can be dangerous. Right now, they're not, but they're not playing for right now. They picked this draft knowing that we are playing for the late game. We're playing for 45 minutes plus. So anything that we can do to be able to stall this one out, we're more than happy to do it. Again, though, I'm just not sure if they've got the tools for it. Maybe once Viper gets into the Manta style, they can just use the illusions to cut multiple lanes. They can use the TA traps to do it. Basically do what Nigma did to them in game number 1, where they had the game in the palm of their hands, and let's see if they've learned from their opponents.
He's not going Manta though. He wants the Force Staff, and the TA has a Hurricane Pike, so they're thinking escaping the Wukong's command is of the utmost importance, and I guess there is some merit to it.
I suppose. I mean, have they... Who ended up getting the shard from the Tormentor? Was it Rubik? Or was it Lion?
Did they kill the Tormentor? Because I don't see anybody having it.
No, I thought I saw TA just like melded next to it, so I assumed that they would have taken it.
Oh, the Lion had his, and there's no Tormentor. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lion got given it, right? He didn't buy it.
I think he bought it, or it was just... I kind of feel like it was pre-minute 20. I'm not sure. I'm not sure now, but I'm gonna assume it was him because he's the only one that has it. The TA, no way, he's topping the network chart, so he had to buy it himself.
But yeah, like if Rubik's able to get into an Aghanim shard of his own, then obviously that provides you that little bit of extra
For sure.
safety net, I guess. Now he's going into the Yasha, at least, on the Viper. So right now they're prioritizing just living for now. They ended up smoking right underneath the ward.
And immediately Mikey's gonna be jumping in. They want to kill OwnedMe immediately. He doesn't have a Lotus Orb. Actually, they're gonna be turning around on the swedenstrong Mikey. He's deeping away, not gonna be happy. He has been hexed up, and with the finger, they'll be finishing him off. That Wukong's man not in a good spot. But speaking about not good spots, this TA in a catastrophic one, but has the Hurricane Pike. He needs more force that. He needs 10 more force that to live. Hiding on the high ground, they will have the vision to bring him down. Now OwnedMe, that is the first one that they engaged on. Let's see if they can finish him off.
Chatting up.
On him. He's gonna be stunned up. The Bramble Mace connecting on him. lorenof. Actually, that's gonna be the Hurricane Pike from KuroKy, but they have the Glimmer Cape beautifully done by MiLAN, keeping his buddy alive. This lorenof is continuing to dish out damage from the back, but in the end, it is again gonna be a fight in Nigma Galaxy's favor, though this time around only barely.
Only barely. Did we see who actually ended up getting the kill onto the DP?
Honestly,
sure if we did, but yeah, I mean, TA was dying at the time, so maybe it was Viper. I'm not sure, but they were just a little bit too deep dive on that one from Mikey. I think he needs to be prioritizing a little bit more of that sustain for himself, even if it's just something like a casual plate mail as OwnedMe. He's in a little bit of danger.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of danger as well. They will be able to do so much damage to him with the impetus shots. KuroKy, you mentioned his intentions being dangerous, and having 8,000 net worth in this kind of a game, it's setting up to be a great one for him.
Man's a Chad. What can we say? He's played every single hero in competitive Dota, so you love to see it where he just gets back to one of those old staples.
Sure, that's something that he definitely knows how to do well on, and has been showing it multiple times in this tournament already. The BTBOOM DACHA, they want to be going to that LAN, Nigma Galaxy, and they want to end it as fast as possible. The goal lead is still not increasing, so you keep talking about the greed of level up and when they're gonna be coming online. What's the big item? What's the big timing? When is it that this game can go in their favor?
Do they need to just wait for the full Manta? I don't think they want to give up another Roshan for free is the thing.
Probably not.
They haven't popped the Exorcism, I don't believe, for this one, so it'll be a little bit slower than previous.
They don't have it. It's gonna be coming off cooldown fairly soon.
I don't know if they smoked underneath that ward, though, that they'd placed up previously. Level up, putting a couple down inside the lane. OwnedMe just looking to show his face, but again, they've got so much of that burst potential. You can't just look to put his body out there. Full-on wraparound coming through from Nigma Galaxy. Going for the backlines, trying to take out the squishy supports.
Oh, they're coming from a really good angle. Yuma as well. That's setting up for a nice Wukong's command already. They don't know what's waiting for them. Oh, actually, it's gonna be not that good of a Wukong's command. Swedenstrong, he has the force staff to get himself out of that one. OwnedMe in the fire of KuroKy. The impetus is not gonna be hurting him all that much. He will get the Watcher down as terrorize into the trees. Not gonna be happening. Running into the traps, not something you want to do. That was the exorcism used.
You're forced to make a play, though. Yeah, you need to make use out of this exorcism, so
no,
all the level up need to do is hold their ground.
And that's exactly what they're doing. OwnedMe, a very short usage of the timber chain there, so doesn't get too far away, but enough for him to be feeling comfortable as level up. They can fight.
Nice. They can. No more Exo, no Wukongs.
Boundless, not that great. There will be another Toxin on the ground. You don't want to be broken as a Monkey King. Having the BKB helps for sure. This level up going forward. lorenof leading the charge. Now it's Nigma Galaxy that are poking KuroKy. Okay, that's more than a poke. It really does hurt.
Even just that top lane pushing in a little bit for Nigma Galaxy, so maybe forcing some sort of a move from level up, but they feel confident. They know that they can go in on the backlines.
Yeah, no Wukong for 30 seconds. You want to do it right now. Another Toxin into the trees. Yet again, they want to kill the Hawk. It's super annoying. And Mikey, Bob's BKB goes in with the Spirit Siphon. There's the BKB from Yuma. Pound the strike. Beautiful. And the fall up there. Right? This is going to give them the damage necessary to finish off two heroes. Buyback from the line. He has to fight. And it's going to be the Hawk forced to the low ground. But he's not going to be safe there. You usually aren't safe there in the dips of the top lane, as it will be 3 heroes down. The line buys back, but Nigma Galaxy again come out on top.
I call it the bait lake for a reason. Yep. You can only go there for so long until your days are numbered, and I mean, it really did feel like Nigma once again just outmaneuvered level up. Everything about that logically said that it was level up's fight to take. No too big ultimates to be able to play around with. You still had a bunch of cooldowns yourselves available. The nosedive really effective, but just a ballsy play from Mikey, putting all of the attention onto himself, opening up the fight for Yuma to be able to make that dive in onto the back lines, and he just instantly wiped out 2 key heroes. A lot of the stuns coming through from the Lion, as well as that prolonged effect of having the Viper in the fight. But I mean, if it's a Monkey King, he could just burst you down.
Ace cheese now on Nigma Galaxy. They also get a shard for the Dark Willow, which is an amazing shard. Especially level up, they want to run away from Nigma Galaxy in a fight with so many brambles on the ground. It's gonna be impossible getting away without being caught.
You can see that level up right now. They haven't really itemized for BKBs, but I mean, it's kind of understandable, right? Not a lot of the stuff is going to be stopped by BKB. It's basically only Dark Willow and I guess KuroKy's damage, but other than that, you're still taking damage from Exo, you're still taking Monkey King damage, Primal Roar is still going to affect you, so it doesn't feel like the biggest priority, but you might be forced to now, just with that Aghanim Shard being given over to the Willow.
There will be a shard on the Timber now, so he does have the flamethrower.
Got spooked by GH again.
Okay, so Dano gets... It's daytime where I'm at, so I'm not scared of those type of creatures, but I guess given that it's late into the night in where you're at, it's probably a little bit more spooky to your side.
Yeah, it's 3 AM. I made sure to turn every single light on in my room.
Yep.
We go at Aegis advantage. Just one tier 2 tower left now up on the top side. Of course, you can see DACHA letting his team know, still doing a lot of the shot calling while keeping up in farm. Doing a great job of it so far. lorenof would love to be able to get up onto that level 18 as well. You can just see how quickly the lanes are able to be pushed out as well with that nosedive. It really does provide a lot of that lane shove potential.
Oh, I mean, now he does have the Lotus Orb. It's not going to help, though.
That's the thing, right? Against the brambles with the shard, you can Lotus it off, but it's still going to spawn them. So you're still going to be locked in place. The thing is, this is where he needs to be farming, because it's the furthest thing away from any objectives. It takes them, what, about a minute of time to be able to get up there, kill him, and then move back towards your side of the map. And right now, they're just playing for TA and the Viper.
You're worth 1 minute.
matter.
You're worth 1 minute, OwnedMe, as an offlaner. That's probably not the space that he wants to be in, but it's the most that they can hope for as the A will be caught. He does have the KuroKy going through all of the brambles. They have multiple force passes. 3 gonna be enough.
Is he still gonna die?
He gets caught. He doesn't have a blink. The Hawk will be caught. Everything was used to save him, and now you're just gonna be losing an extra lion on top of your TA. Probably the tier 3, and probably any chances to go to the land.
I like how we could see if GH is looking on the Radiant side or the Dire side, just by how bright his face is, going back and forth between the two. But, I mean, Nigma's prospects of going through the land are looking brighter than ever. They've got one last flip refresh back, but you don't have the Hawk for the next 40 seconds. Also, just got an open bottom lane. Creeps have not been dealt with in that mid lane. Backdoor protection shouldn't be kicking in. Will for a little bit, but there's really nothing stopping them from just sticking around.
They're coming. That permanent Shadow Realm of GH definitely coming in handy in this game, as lorenof trying to do something with the nosedive, trying to deny the tower. Not gonna be happening. You're gonna be losing another lane of racks. Actually, Monkey King broken. He's gonna be a little bit afraid of going forward here, but you want that Deso applied on the Raxes.
You do, and I mean, they're just letting the Ancient Black Dragon do the majority of the work for now, and they're even able to get out before the full complement of heroes is able to rejoin. 2 lanes of racks down, 21k net worth lead, and a 1% win probability remains for Level Up. This is not how they were expecting this series to go.
99% chance for Nigma Galaxy to go to the LAN finals. They came into this grand finals thinking maybe Level Up has the capability to defeat them, but easy 3-0 seems to be the case. There's gonna be a ball strike onto the 4 of them, and look at that, Terra is behind. Level Up are afraid. They're afraid of GH like they should be. From the shadows he strikes, and now KuroKy coming in with the impetuses, killing OwnedMe, the tankiest hero of Level Up. The rest of them, they're gonna be in a world of hurt. Here comes the impetus. The Hawk, jump in for the Monkey King. He does have the Aegis, so they're gonna kill him once. Let's see if they're gonna be able to keep him in place a little bit longer. Their spike doesn't connect. Yuma will be able to get the BKB off, and he goes for the ulti, meaning a lot more armor for him. lorenof trying to fight him. He's doing his the best he can. Yuma would like to leave, but it's gonna be very tough to do so. They do have the force test to get him to low ground, so he's gonna be fine. Chakram, not enough. Yuma lives.
Just able to get away, and I mean, again, you forced a buyback out of the Timber Source, so even more win conditions open up for your team. They would love to be able to get into this this Silver Edge for the TA, just to provide that little bit of extra damage. Even that is the 3rd Wisdom Rune that lorenof has picked up this game. They are desperately trying to get him to that level 25. I do give them that. I feel like that's what the 1% is representing, right? If Viper's able to get to this super late stage, right now it's not looking like Nigma want to give them any sort of chance to get to that point.
That 1% from my side, it's looking like a big fat 0, but let's see KuroKy again doing the most damage, the captain carrying his team. What happened to Kuro? Did he?
Kuro?
Okay, he's going in, he doesn't care, gonna be turned into a little fishy. Finally, he's a helpless critter, but fairly soon he'll be coming back to his normal form. There will be an exorcism used, so now the push will be much easier for Nigma Galaxy. But can you go high ground?
I don't think they necessarily need to. Once again, Mikey, even on these heroes that don't necessarily provide the same sort of like suicidal, dive in, balls deep gameplay, he's happy to just do it. You know, pops the BKB, blinks in, he's got a Shiva's Guard, he has no cares in the world, and it just gives him the space to be able to take out that last tier 2 tower. Look at the bottom 2 lanes, they're just shoving in naturally, so they're going to be forced to make some sort of play, and maybe they can even catch them out and off guard now. But, I mean, the safe play, of course, is just wait for that next Aegis, right? 1.5 minutes potentially.
When did Nigma go for a safe play in their life? Come on, make a cool play. Either win now or give your enemies a chance. As Yuma, boundless strike. Okay, he's just poking.
It's got to use that that Manta style a little bit more though. Obviously wanting to hold it in case they did go for some sort of high ground push, but that is a great tool at being able to shove out separate lanes on this Viper. It's kind of like a pseudo Naga Siren or a Terrorblade, just being able to slowly push them out. And I feel like if you're just stuck inside your base, holding on to it, you're not getting the most out of this hero. There we go. He's doing it mid, doing it top. Looks like bottom side. There really isn't too many heroes that are capable of doing it. I mean, Lion's the closest to that bottom lane right now. And did Kuro just yoinked it? Alright.
He has the enchanted Kuro as well on Kuro, so that first hit from the impetus, it really does hurt. It really does hurt. So, I guess you already get max range if you use the,
Hurricane.
not the hurricane, the, what do you call it? Sproink?
Sproink?
Yeah. If they're running away?
Yeah.
You should. Oh, okay.
I suppose so.
I
I mean, the thing is as well, like, it just... You hate having to buy a BKB because of a position 5. Understandable if it's because of, like, a bunch of stuns, but it's an enchantress just right-clicking you down. That's how much fear KuroKy is striking into these guys' minds, and he's even got a Dark Troll Summoner as well. So they're just looking to make this last push an absolutely menacing one. All of that extra damage from the rally. I think Mind Control on his Beastmaster almost has an AC completed as well. Should hopefully be able to at least have level 20 on the Viper, but I think it's not going to be enough.
No.
Some Viper Strike damage, a little bit of extra poison attack slow. That's not what you're playing for.
Are we done with the hope of the level 25 Viper, or do you think that is still the only one that level up have? Or...
I think that's the only one, and I have no hope for them getting there. I think 1% is 0.5% rounded up, I think, in this instance.
Okay, okay. I was thinking about when we're talking about the, there it is, still 1%. When we're talking about the Hurricane Pike and the Sproink, if there was no limit onto the range like it used to be, you could Hurricane Pike and then Sproink. And imagine that amount of damage it would do, especially at times where Enchantress used to have Impetus as an ulti.
Yeah. I mean, even just the, we saw it being the case with the, DACHA. He's trying to force some TPs away. Okay, this is a clever play. If they could force people to TP back, maybe... I didn't see if he's got a TA trap on the outpost, but if he does, then coming back here and then instantly smoking up and trying to find a pickoff is a pretty good deal, but also it just gives them the idea that, hey, this TA isn't around. We've got enough damage to potentially be able to burst this one. Maybe they're just saying, look, we're happy to give up an Aegis just to finally get outside of our base.
Refresher is going to be something that they claim from the Roche, given that it's 15 seconds before daytime. Do they want to wait? I guess Ags might be better, but also double Wukong's Command or double Exorcism is something that you do want to have, and it is going to be the double Exorcism that they're going to be looking towards.
Yeah, but what about the double Sproink, though? That's what I'm really wanting to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I always, whenever I see Enchantress getting impetuses out, I always just imagine Sproink, Sproink, Sproink. So it doesn't really matter if he's jumping back or not.
Do you see that he's got a Revenant's Brooch queued up as well on KuroKy?
Yeah, he has the Witchblade, has had it for quite some time. That's gonna be painful, as OwnedMe, he is not gonna be feeling any pain any longer. Not because he's tanky, but because he's dead.
Man, there's a lot of gold being held onto by DACHA right now. I understand the importance of keeping that buyback, but I mean, I think you're just going to need the damage to try and make anything happen here. Quick Finger of Death to try and get a kill onto Kuro, the most important person on Nigma Galaxy. I'm hearing the base get dived as well, though.
Yep, Mikey, he gets the kill on MiLAN, he gets the kill on Swedenstrong. This is how you kill supports in a second. You don't take as long as you did level up. But talking about taking long, Nigma Galaxy really took a really short time to end this best of 5 grand finals. It was supposed to be a 5-game series. It was supposed to be epic, but Nigma Galaxy just way too good for level up today. They came in from the lower bracket finals, level up, won against their opponents 2-0, came in looking strong in game number 1, but they lost it, and then after that, Nigma Galaxy, it was them all the way.
For sure, I mean, it's a buyback being used. They even try and force stuff. Poor DACHA outside of the fountain, and they don't care. They're probably going to dive the fountain at this point, and MiLAN gives them the congratulations. Instant disconnect coming through from him.